It's interesting, yeah. Sorry, because we keep talking about faith, religion. I don't like the term religion, but in terms of my belief, it's interesting that it's my belief that's helped me to understand the importance of myself over others, because my belief is that God is in me.
100%.
And and my faith teaches me seek first the kingdom which is within me. God, seek first the kingdom of God. So it's almost like I've learned that by going within myself and seeking God within myself, I then am able to understand the importance of stillness, understand the importance of pouring in order to pour out, and that actually you can't pour out if you're not pouring in.
Yeah.
Because if you don't pour in, then there's burnout. So then where are you pouring from?
I get it. My thing is this, yeah. You know, just language, touching on language. The seeking bit is what seeking.
Yeah.
Often people are seeking what they are. So what if you are, I am God?
See.
Versus I'm looking for God. Versus I am. Because I tell you why you are. Have you had a child?
Do you know what it is? I think it's a complete. To me, I think it's a complete disrespect.
Why?
To call myself the beginning, the end, and the creation of all things.
But why?
Because I can create. I'm a part of. I have elements of, but I'm not in its entirety.
You are though.
I'm not perfect.
It doesn't. Okay.
And my belief is that God is perfect.
No, but God. If God is perfect, God is also imperfect. God created man in its image. So how could it be one way and not the other?
Because we're influenced by the world.
But God created you in His image. You don't need to be perfect, but you do create. You've had a child.
100%.
So you're God. You've done what God done.
I believe that there is elements. I believe that I'm part of.
You created
but
life.
I'm not. I didn't create.
Did God create life?
I didn't create the heavens. I didn't create the earth. I didn't create animals. I couldn't do that. That's a disrespect.
What if everything is God?
To the ultimate creator?
Where does the disrespect come from?
Who created me?
Why would it be disrespectful?
Because then I'm saying that I am the one who done all of those things, and I haven't.
No, it's not that. It's your relationship to everything. Why wouldn't you be part of this one godness?
I am part of.
Yeah.
But I'm not. It's not that I am.
But you are. No. Like a tree. Like my thing is this, right? If you look at nature, there's no other species in nature that questions its existence. It just exists. They just are. They don't know about God or not. They just exist. We're the only species that question our existence and then judge our own existence, even though you are of what's been created. So an animal will create and give life. It won't say, I'm not going to compare myself to the vine. It just is. Does it make sense? I think what we've done is we've got into our heads. Like, why would God judge you or say it's disrespectful when you're like, I want to be as close as I can, even if I label it as I am? Why would God judge that when if it's a healthy relationship between you and Him? If that makes sense. The same way we say He about God, that's a subconscious programming.
Yeah, that.
Not So that's why I'm saying the language is really interesting, but I struggle with the idea of why would God judge you? God must be setting these traps.
So you're referring to who you're referring to when you say God? No, I mean because you said that.
Why would
say
God
that I am
God is what I'm saying.
Where
is
does that come from?
Seeking versus I am is basically owning that you are part of it.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Okay.
Right, because
it does say
a lot of people say will say like, well,
it says in the Bible that we are God's little G though, not big G.
Doesn't matter whether it's little G or what I'm saying is, how does someone experience God when they don't read? As you've experienced.
No, you don't have to.
Exactly.
You see, the wickedest thing is, a lot of my encounters with God haven't been through
this
reading.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but He confirms through reading.
Or
So
she,
I've had
she.
that's conditioned.
And you know that the he thing.
It's interesting
The
because
he
that
thing.
I
The he thing plays into
Do you know what it is?
why
I'm
women
open.
are disrespected. Do you know that, right? Fully.
Even though they are
Yeah,
create
that's what
life,
you said.
they create life. They're the original versions of God to me. You
Like,
create life
It's
in real
not a
life,
coincidence
but we
that
can't say
women
who
are
she.
shat on throughout the world because the one thing that is supposed to be almighty and all powerful was a man. It's kind of mad, right?
Even though we don't create life, like in the physical.
Do
But
you not
obviously-
think that it's something that's come to cause a divide, just like race?
Yeah.
Like there's a big focus on
100%.
whether, rather than focusing on, again, it's language, he,
Mm.
rather than focusing on who God is, elements of God, but you're just focusing on the type. Do you know what I'm saying? The title.
Can I tell
Language
you
is
what's
definitely
interesting about
Which is still
God, right?
powerful. Because
Let me tell you what is really interesting, right? And what I think is a major disrespect. Us even trying to understand what that is a disrespect. Because you make the idea so small.
100%. The 100%. It goes beyond.
That's
It goes beyond language.
Yeah.
It's unfathomable.
your down.
And what we try to do
Mm.
is we try to understand it and we make the most powerful thought
You see
minuscule.
what I'm saying? You're trying to come up with what to call, what
Yeah.
to refer to
But
God
that's
as.
how. But
It
that's.
refers to
But
God
I
as
think
God.
it should be that rather than God. He.
That, but it's still language, isn't it? You're still using English.
I'm trying
You
to
know
say,
what God is
based
as
on
well.
what you said.
Just say God. Just say God.
No, but that's the point.
Mm.
I'm not trying to
Ah.
because it's more. It's more than 3 letters. I'm not trying to disrespect the thing by calling like
But it is
it
even
a he.
even.
100%, but I'm trying to take it away from the fact that you just automatically, not you, but we automatically refer to God as a he.
Mm.
Subconsciously, it's just there. But then it goes back to what I was saying about the whole idea of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Disrespect on women. And what I'm saying is that you see it in society. You see women's fight in society. Women have been made to feel less than because they ain't even in the conversation when it comes to life.
Religion, like in general, you don't hear female stories as much as you do men's stories.
You do in Christianity. You do.
Balance?
No, there's quite a. There are a lot of
Balance.
stories of women. You just don't people. And again, where you just said about hearing about them, I don't think they're spoken about enough.
Disciples, who were they?
They're women.
But then you talk about like you got Ruth,
They're
you
all
got
men.
Lot's wife.
No, but they're not.
They're
put on
not.
a
But they're not
pedestal.
put on the.
Why are they not the main characters?
Yeah, they should be the main characters. 12 disciple men. 12
Again,
disciple
but
women.
I think that's down to the teaching, the way it's been taught, the way the
Yeah.
Bible has been taught.
It must
the way
be a
it has
manipulation
been-
tactic.
That I think it's very important
That's
to
happened.
read things for yourself, to
I don't-
learn things
You
for
know what?
yourself.
I don't want to read none of them. I don't want to be programmed by them. And just because I know I've got to this far without it, and I feel I'm doing
You think
alright.
you'd be programmed by reading it yourself?
No,
and
no,
not,
no.
not
If
by
I was to read it, it
reading
would
it
read
by
it
somebody
with a
else.
different lens. But I don't really. I'm not interested in religion just because I've been in religion, and my experience hasn't. I've been judged the most being in some of these environments, and I'm not particularly interested in going back because of that. It's like it's not just religion. It's all these spiritual communities, all this crap. It's all bullshit. Everyone's ego chasing because they don't want to be honest and say I don't know how to figure this thing out. I don't
think
even know
it's
how to have my
direction.
own relationship
I
with
think
God.
it's just direction. I think
I think it's experience as well. It's the experiences that you have. Like everything
Yeah,
that I can
100%.
speak is from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get
100%.
me? In terms of even hearing directly and then hearing, read this because this is what I just told you, and I read it and I'm like,
it's clarity, right?
But I
do you
think
know what I mean?
there's,
So
I would say,
it's personal experiences.
yeah.
So if that's not where you're at
No,
right now,
like for me, I would say
right now,
there is divine experiences in everything. Every book you read is God.
oh no,
Why
I
not?
don't believe that. I don't believe
No,
that.
no, no,
Because I
no.
believe there are some books that drive people to want to end their life.
But did God create the devil?
Now we're going into.
No, I'm just saying.
You know what? And
because-
this is.
No,
I always said that I
what was the
would
question
debate my
in the
faith for a
beginning?
long
No,
time.
no,
So I'm gonna
no,
pause.
no, you-
No, but I'm just saying.
And let you guys talk on my.
No, but I'm just saying.
because I'm not going
Because
down.
I think that.
No, but
We-
wait,
we
we're not even
box
supposed to be
God
here
into-
anyway.
No, we're not.
No,
We're not.
No,
How did we
No,
get
that is
here?
you, you know. You know it's you, you know. It's you.
No, but
Because
I'm
when
just
you
saying
hear something to do
we
with
box-
religion,
we
you
box-
say
No.
something and then
I
Jay
don't-
says
I
something and it just
don't-
goes back and forth.
No, I'm just like, because
Sorry.
we box
Sorry.
God into this like one dimension, and I just believe that if this divine has created everything, and some of it might be negative, but it's the meaning you make out of it. So like, okay, as you were saying, could this be the training ground to learn love? So maybe he will give you, or she will give you,
This
all
is
of these
storage.
things, these an array of experiences, so you can navigate what does love really mean.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying is like, I wouldn't discount this
Mm.
and not make God responsible for all of this too, because that brings you to that destination, but it's just not the
It's
desired way.
what, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I
trying to
agree
say.
with that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
don't
so it's a
think
journey.
No, go back. Go
Yeah.
back to
Yes,
it. Go back to it.
How do we can undo the idea that everyone outside of ourselves must come before ourselves?
When that was the thing, I was talking about.
And it's about
God.
understanding yourself in
Yeah.
order to. So do you know what I mean? So George was talking about his personal. I was talking about
Yeah.
my personal.
Yeah,
All we're
mine was
talking about
about,
is our personal experiences.
and then I've learned what the word God has been.
Hold on.
Oh no, I haven't told you that.
No,
So
no.
when I studied the word God,
Mm.
in relation to this system, again, this is why we have to question everything, because again, when you're in certain fractions, you question things, and they'll go like, oh, this person's questioning the devil, they're this, that, and that, and actually questions get you to answers, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need to have
That's
those
right.
conversations, isn't it? So that's where I struggled with my faith, because I was asking questions like, why am I going to kiss in Jesus' foot on this day, and it's a doll, and he's like that, and I was like,
Who does that?
in the Catholic Church they had this day where they had Jesus on a
no.
statue,
You don't worship
and then
anything.
everyone's going to kiss it, and I'm like, I can't
no.
kiss that thing.
It's an idol.
That's mad. But,
Interesting, 'cause the Bible talks
What I
about
found out was God was created by the guy Pope Benedict III,
it.
who was a devil worshipper, and he created this word God, which was granted of dominion.
Okay.
And what
Grant
it
of
meant,
dominion.
yeah. So he would
Grant
attach,
of dominion. He
grant
gave
of-
us dominion. He granted us dominion
yeah.
over the earth.
But this was created by a guy called Pope Benedict III, who was from the he was a mafia. So the Godfather is a mafia boss, which is why you've got in entertainment the Godfather. So he created this thing because he wanted more power. So he became the Pope. He wasn't a ordained Pope. He became the Pope. He took it basically. Then created this word grant of dominion, and gave dominion over the kings and queens of the land. And then this is where the word God was. And I was like, wait, okay, so we have to even question. So obviously that's why other people say Yeshua.
If you go back,
or-
Yahweh.
yeah,
If you
Yahweh,
go back
or-
to the that's what I was
or
gonna say. Yeah.
There's other names, and that's why it's important to tap into the native side of
100%.
the religions, because
There's
you know
power
you
in
have
that.
the Ethiopian Bibles and all these other things that are missed out. The Dead Sea Scrolls, is it? There's lots of the other things that you're like, oh, they've taken the esoteric side of it because of that,
What's esoterically?
which is like the ether side, which is the spiritual side, the practice you should do. They label it witchcraft, but actually it's the stuff you should do to look within. So meditate is one of them.
Right.
Breath work,
Right.
all yoga, the way Muslims pray is another thing
And
they
you do
do.
know that a lot of people
all-
see those practices as devil
As devil or
worship.
evil, or the religions will judge each other like, we don't
Yeah.
do that, why do they do that?
Yeah,
But
there's
actually
a lot of things that even down
yoga
to
comes from
talking to
Jesus.
someone the other day about
Similar to
even
African
down to
spirituality.
grounding, standing on grass. There's everyone's was that heebie-jeebie, and it's not. It's you're connecting to creation, and creation
No,
is God.
but you know what's interesting? There's always another side to another pack. So it's like you may come into a knowing that's taking you closer to God, right? And they'll tell you Satanist, but it agrees with you. Now you don't actually know what that is. You just know that it agrees with you. It makes you feel lighter. It makes you feel better. But you know, the fact of the matter is, and this is what I think the most beautiful thing about this experience is just not knowing a damn thing. You only know what agrees with you. And even if it agrees with you, you actually don't know what that's doing. You don't know the power of any of it because everything's been so flipping tainted and just tampered with. So it's interesting. But let's get back to that other topic.
Sorry.
No, it's all relevant. It was
There you
actually
go.
relevant to go
And
with.
we won't go down that road again.